From this module, we are starting our discussion on the second element of working capital, and that is cash. This is 160th module of financial management course, and in this we'll talk about the importance of cash, the management of cash, and how the things are done. The first thing is that when we use the term cash, it means that we are talking about the currency that we hold and the currency which is used in a country or internationally for the payment of expenses, for buying things, for paying off your liabilities. In Pakistan, we have the Pakistani rupee. Internationally, we have got dollars, and then we have yen, and we have pound sterling, and other currencies which are there. Every business organization has to hold and carry a certain amount of cash. And the purpose of holding this cash is to make the payments. In every business, every day we have to make several payments. When we purchase goods, at times we have to purchase a part of those goods on cash. So we require some amount of cash with us. We have to incur several expenses which are to be paid. For example, utility expenses, although we get some credit for that, but after the credit period, we need to make the payment. We need to pay the salaries, we need to pay to our staff, we need to pay the expenses of traveling and conveyance and entertainment and repair and maintenance and whatnot. And for all these things, we need to have cash. हम अपनी liabilities pay off करते हैं, जो loans हमने लिए हैं वो हमें return करने हैं. And to pay off these loans, we require cash. So cash is extremely important in a business. But another thing which is important with reference to cash is that holding cash more than our requirement is not beneficial for a business from the viewpoint of profitability. यानी बहुत सारा कैश अगर हम अपने पास अपनी सेफ में लॉकर में रख लेंगे और वो कैश हमारे बिजनेस में सर्कुलेट नहीं होगा, तो उसका नतीजा ये होगा कि वो कैश आइडल होगा, अनप्रोडक्टिव होगा. उस कैश के ज़रिए से हम मज़ीद प्रॉफिट अर्न नहीं कर सकेंगे. So this means that there are pros and cons. We need to have certain amount of cash, but we should not have more than a certain amount of cash, because then it becomes harmful for the business organization. So management of cash becomes extremely important. We need to determine that what amount of cash we should have at any given point of time, and that much amount should be there, neither more nor less than that. We'll have this discussion in this module and a part of that in the next modules that we will have. But let's see, when we use the term cash, what do we mean by that? This includes cash in hand. Cash in hand means that this is that amount of cash which is with the business organization in their premises. यानी हमारे लॉकर में रखी है, हमारी सेफ में रखी है, हमारे ड्रॉर में रखी है. ये वो कैश है जो कि हम अपने पास रोज़ाना की ज़रूरतों के लिए रखते हैं कि आज हमने जो पेमेंट्स करनी है, आज हमने जो लोगों को पैसे देने हैं, उसके लिए जो कैश हम कैरी करते हैं. Another term which is used for this small amount of cash that we carry every time with us is called the petty cash. The cash required for small expenses that we need to incur every day. But a bigger chunk of cash is actually there in the bank, because it is safe, it is secure, and at times we also get some interest on the amount that we have put in our bank account. So relatively larger amount of our cash holding is with the bank. But again, as we have just discussed, that the cash has to be circulated, so a functional business will also not have a very large amount of cash placed in the bank. Another thing which is important we need to keep in our mind is what is called cash convertibles. Some of the items which are actually not the currency notes, like not rupees or dollars, but they're almost like cash. यानी वो उतने ही लिक्विड होते हैं, तकरीबन उतनी ही जल्दी से हम उनको कैश में कन्वर्ट करके और इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं फॉर पेमेंट्स एंड अदर expenses. These items are called cash convertibles. For example, in Pakistan, we have got prize bonds. So some people would accept prize bonds as cash. There are traveler checks, which can also be used as cash. And if we have got some cards available, which is called the plastic money, so that is also included in cash. Now let's talk about that why we need cash, why there has to be uh, enough amount of cash with us, because we say that it is not possible to run a business without cash. अगर आपके पास कैश नहीं है तो आप अपने ऑपरेशंस को, रेगुलर ऑपरेशंस को परफॉर्म ही नहीं कर सकते. आई हैव गिवन यू सम एग्जांपल्स that we need to have cash for purchases. We need to have cash for the payment of expenses. We need to have cash for the payment to the creditors जिनसे आप चीज़ें खरीदते हैं. We need to have cash for the repayment of loans. तो इन तमाम चीज़ों के लिए हमारे पास कैश का होना ज़रूरी है. अगर ये कैश कम हो जाएगा तो हम क्या करेंगे? तो हमें बोरो करना पड़ेगा. और अगर हमें बोरो करना पड़ेगा तो उस बोरोइंग पर वी हैव टू पे सम इंटरेस्ट, एंड दिस इंटरेस्ट इज एन एक्सपेंस विच इंक्रीजेस द कॉस्ट. सो व्हाई वी नीड कैश इज द क्वेश्चन दैट वी शुड बी आंसरिंग इन आवर बिजनेस फ्रॉम द व्यू पॉइंट ऑफ द रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ कैश. कहाँ कहाँ हमें कैश की ज़रूरत है, और मैंने आपको ये 4-5 बेसिक चीज़ें बता दी कि कहाँ पर हमें कैश की ज़रूरत होती है. सपोज वी डू नॉट हैव इनफ कैश एंड वी कैन नॉट इवन बोरो, यानी ऐसी सूरत हाल पैदा हो गई कि हमारे पास बोरोइंग अरेंजमेंट्स नहीं है, बैंक हमें पैसा देने के लिए तैयार नहीं है, या हमारी जो क्रेडिबिलिटी है, जो हमारे क्रेडेंशियल्स हैं बैंक्स के पास, जो क्रेडिट रेटिंग है वो ऐसी नहीं है कि हम इमरजेंसी बोरिंग कर सकें. तो कई दफ़ा यूँ भी होता है कि अ बिजनेस विच इज़ अपरेंटली प्रॉफिटेबल, विच इज़ मेकिंग प्रॉफिट्स, गोज़ इनटू बैंक्रप्सी, यानी उसको कैश ना होने की वजह से अपने ऑपरेशंस को बंद करना पड़ता है. एंड दिस इज़ द वर्स्ट सिचुएशन विच अ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वुड फेस. यानी कोई भी बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कभी भी ये नहीं चाहेगी कि उसके पास प्रोडक्शन की कैपेसिटी हो, उसके पास सेल्स डिमांड मौजूद हो, लेकिन कैश ना होने की वजह से उसको अपने ऑपरेशंस को कर्टेल करना पड़े. सो टेक्निकल सॉल्वेंसी इज़ अ सिचुएशन where having enough capacity to produce and sell and to make profit, still a business has to discontinue its operation, and as I've said, it is the worst possible scenario that we'll have. So हम अपनी इस डिस्कशन को, इस कैश मैनेजमेंट के पहले मॉड्यूल को इस तरीके से ख़त्म करते हैं कि हम ये बात इस पर एम्फेसिस करते हैं कि कैश इज़ एक्सट्रीमली इम्पॉर्टेंट. विदाउट कैश, यू नो, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर अ बिजनेस टू ऑपरेट. So if it is not possible, then the next question is that what is the amount of cash that should be kept. तो इसको मैनेज करने के लिए कैलकुलेट करना ज़रूरी है कि किस महीने में, किस दिन, किस हफ्ते में कितना कैश हमारे पास होना चाहिए, so that we can meet the requirements of the payments that we will make. Because we are into a running business where we earn some revenue, where we have got sales, where we sell some of our assets, where we borrow also. So all these things are actually the inflows of cash. So cash management is a process where we'll see that from where we'll be receiving cash and where we'll have to pay cash, and what are the appropriate levels of cash that we should have in order to efficiently and effectively run our business.